Hello and welcome to the Tour of Cambridgeshire, the UK's first truly authentic Gran Fondo. There's nothing riders like better than getting out on closed roads, and elite cyclists and those with the more leisurely approach weave their way through the spectacular Cambridgeshire countryside. But for the serious riders, this is serious business. This is a UCI qualifying event and there are places up for grabs in the World Championships. And it all starts here at the Peterborough Showground. Coming up, it's not all about cycling mod cons, a throwback to the good old vintage days. The highlights of this entire festival of cycling, the Gran Fondo, and all the colour and atmosphere that goes with it. But first, let's take a look at the time trial course, and to take us through it, the MC of this great event, David Harmon. David, what could the riders expect out there?
Well, they expect a lot of action for a start because there's 850 riders out there today. That's the largest time trial ever held anywhere in the world. They've made a record of it for the last 3 years, 26.4 kilometres, most of it flat. The road to Moorbourne is a little bit of a slope. That's the only drag they can expect. And so anybody can do it from any range of abilities. And we've got some really top time trialists as well as some proper amateurs going on. And 84 corporate and mixed team time trial events as well. It's pretty much like a Belgian course, to be honest. Once you get out there, it's the wind that's going to be your real problem and nothing else. But other than that, it's a great day. The weather's been fantastic and very kind to them.
Well, let's get down to the start and see how the riders get on. How are you looking forward to today?
Yeah, a little bit, a lot, kinda. See how we get after the first mile or two.
What's the ambition today? What are you looking to get out of today?
I'd just like to average above 25 miles an hour and then I'll be happy, yeah. I'm not going to do anything special.
And doing this turbo before the off, I mean, how important is this as part of your preparation?
Really important, actually, yeah, especially for short stuff. Sort of 16 miles, you want to, the shorter the race, the longer the warm-up, really. So you get your muscles get into the good temperature and ready to go, really. Yeah.
With the time trial or the chrono underway, great chance to catch up with Matt Bottrell, the former national champion. Matt, thanks a lot for your time. I mean, you've been out there today. How did you find it?
Yeah, it's obviously 18 months since I've done anything like this. So to come back, yeah, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I love this event. So yeah, it was good.
And what are conditions like for the riders?
It's fantastic. It's ideal conditions. There's not much wind. The course itself is, it's a great course.
You've led the way in this discipline. Tell us what the secret is to being a good time trialer.
Ultimately, it's optimising speed, power and aerodynamics, and it's just, it's having control on the bike. We call this the race of truth, and ultimately we call it that because it's about trying to get everything out.
I mean, do you go from the very start, or when you're against the clock, can you sort of pace yourself as well?
It's very much about looking at wind direction. It's not setting off like a rocket. You want to build into the race. So, how the course is today, it is headwind out, but obviously you want to make a big effort into that headwind. But then on the rest of the course, it's kind of building into the, like the undulations, into the hills, and then you want to obviously have a strong finish. But if you set off too fast, you're going to get that big build up of lactic acid, and obviously after a couple of miles, you're going to pay for it.
You do a lot of coaching. I mean, can you become a very good time trialist, or is it quite a lot about natural ability?
No, everyone can become a good time trialist, but you're not just going to get that from, being a real powerful rider. It's looking at every element of the setup from your bike to your position to then ultimately, getting the training correct. And that's why, with what we do with coaching, you can kind of, that you're going to make these athletes into great time trialists. So, obviously it's great to have a big engine, but not everyone's got that.
And the event itself, just briefly, how do you sum it up? I mean, here in Cambridgeshire, fantastic countryside, great event. How do you sort of sum it up yourself?
It's just awesome. We just need more races like this. Everyone riding today is going to feel like a professional rider. And that's what we want to see. You know, I'd love to see, you know, like 3 or 4 of these races a year. You know, it's great. On closed roads, you feel safe and you can feel part of something special. You know, everybody riding this event can ultimately become a world champion. So there's not many sports you can actually do that. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Matt, great stuff. Thanks a lot for your time. Well, the time trialists are still out on the course. Let's see how they're getting on. Tom Caldwell is the event organiser. Tom, thanks for your time. Great to see so many cyclists together of different abilities.
Yeah, I'm really over the moon. We've got cyclists of all abilities here, from the elite athletes, people ex-pros from all over the world, who are going to be racing at the start of a kind of London Marathon format on bikes. And then behind them we've got everyday cyclists, people from all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, all out to enjoy closed roads in Cambridgeshire, and of course the beautiful countryside that we have here.
And it's a great family event. You've got the little youngsters here too, cycling with mum and dad. I mean, they're mixing it with these elite cyclists too.
Yeah, and one of my favourite events, a family fondo, where we had mums and dads all chasing around a closed road circuit, all having a great time, and hopefully the future champions, of course, you know.
Now this is unique in it's like the only Gran Fondo in the UK. I mean, how important is that to you as an event? How prestigious is that?
It's really important, and without being disrespectful to any other events, obviously, you know, there are many sportifs up and down the country, and that's great. It gives people a chance to engage. But to us, the Gran Fondo format is really important. As people may know, it's massive in Europe. It's a form of event that, again, gives a competitive edge, a little bit like a big city marathon, and it's really important. But the other beauty of our event, I think, is that it's age categorised. So one of the great privileges is handing out medals to 65-year-olds who are then going to qualify and go to compete in the Amateur World Championships, which are in Albi in France this year. And that again is a great festival and a great thing to be involved in.
Does that really up the ante for the really ambitious cyclists here? I mean, a really big incentive for them.
Oh yes, but also, you know, fairly ordinary cyclists, good club cyclists as well, you know, they can still qualify. And part of all of this is that it's all about mass participation. It's all about people being involved. It's all about encouraging people of all ages, genders and sexes to get involved and to know that they can still compete, whatever their age and whatever their ability.
You've got obviously loads of stands here, great exhibitions,
Yeah.
I mean, and for people to get involved in there. I mean, can people roll up and just take a look, or is it all about really the cyclists who come here on the day?
No, we're in trying to create a festival here over 2 or 3 days. So we have a great expo, we have lots of big brands coming along to support us. And we're now trying to add other elements to the event. We're doing fixed wheel racing, we're doing cyclocross racing, we're doing this family fondo concept. We've got a few other things up our sleeves for, you know, the coming years. And we're really looking forward to make this a real premier sort of you know, cycling festival over a few days.
And you mentioned the Gran Fondo and how almost, you know, you hold that dear to your heart. Do you perhaps see this expanding? Do you think there'll be other events that almost take a leaf out of your book in the future?
Well, we're actually working quite hard on that ourselves, and yeah, our ambition is to increase the number of Gran Fondo events in the UK and to create a UK championship as well, which can then go on to Europeans and onto Worlds.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Well, it is all about fun, but for those serious cyclists, it's all about getting that podium finish. Well, congratulations, Jessica. Give sum up your feelings after what's been a great day for you.
Really well organised event, and yeah, great course, and I had a really good time, so a good day.
Tell us about the course and the conditions that you faced out there.
It's good, it was quite warm today, so yeah, and quite windy as well. Quite a headwind on the way out, but a nice tailwind coming home again.
How do you sum up your feelings after today?
Yeah, pretty happy. I felt pretty rubbish on the bike, if I'm honest, so I was happy to get back in and see a good time on the screen. Happy to find out that I'd won my age group, and then got beaten by a teammate for a couple of seconds for the second overall. But yeah, unexpected.
Congratulations. How do you sum up your feelings at the end of the day?
Yeah, thank you. I'm ecstatic, really. It's I came here wanting to do well, but the win was, yeah, a surprise. So I was really pleased. So,
Have you exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, I have. And actually, I knew what times have been done in past years and stuff as well. And I saw how quick Matt went a couple of years back, Matt Botchell. So to go faster than his time a couple of years ago, I was amazed actually.
Well, bike technology has moved on so quickly, but how nice to see a throwback here with some vintage bikes on display. And the Artigianali team, well, it's a special club, isn't it, where you just ride your vintage bikes amid all the modern ones around today?
Just vintage and vintage steel and wool jerseys.
And I mean, does it make it harder out there, the way that bikes have moved on? I mean, you're a throwback. Is it much harder work?
It is. It's a few extra kilos, but I think you're carrying a few extra kilos anyway, so that's not too much of a problem. The brakes aren't quite as good, the gears aren't quite as easy, but the steel's a fantastic ride.
Tell us a bit about the club and when you get out and when you get your bikes out. Do you get lots of looks from people saying, goodness me, that's a bit of a throwback?
Yeah, but we definitely check the weather forecast first. You know, there's a lot of chrome to polish, so you don't want to go out in the wet weather. But it's social, and you ride at a different pace to your, a racing sort of scene or a club ride. And it's just, you do get a lot of people sort of stop and just want to talk to you. It's a very nostalgic thing, and everybody I know who has a carbon bike looks at my steel bike and goes, I must get a steel bike, I must get a steel bike. And the club is a really good magnet for that enthusiasm, so it's great.
And I have noticed here actually that those with the modern bikes, they've come over to this stand, they've given all your bikes a real good look over.
Yeah, and we're a little bit nervous about going up against the carbon boys on the TT, but we're going to give it our best shot, and if we can show that they're still competitive and they still ride really beautifully, so yeah. And they're available at a price.
A bit about the event itself, this Festival of Cycling. I mean, you guys are here amongst all the modern equipment, but just sum up the actual event itself, what it means to you.
It's been great to come down here, see all the people sort of milling around, everyone really excited. The time trial has been all day, it's just been non-stop action, seeing all the guys going for the world champs, which has been fantastic, and that's super exciting. I think to do the team chrono later on this afternoon is going to be super exciting for us.
Yeah, a bit worried about it, a bit worried.
But we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. And great, it's a family occasion. I mean, little kids are here on their little bikes with mums and dads. Yeah. There's you guys, there's the elite riders. It's a great family occasion.
Yeah, that's right. I think the whole cycling scene now is developing that kind of ethos. I mean, I do a lot of cyclocross, and it's the same day. You get families come out and do their races, and then dad gets on later on. So yeah, it's just a really good weekend. We're looking forward to it all. Yeah.
Well, you enjoy your weekend. Thanks very much indeed for your time. Well, with respect to you guys, it will be the elite athletes making the running after the break, the Gran Fondo.